Hello, welcome to Not for Educational Purposes, where we take a random subject we know nothing about and attempt to understand more about it using the internet, while we careen off topic and see how far away from the original purpose of the show we can get. Please be advised, this podcast is so unhinged that we lost the door centuries ago. There will be nonsense, chaos, lots of giggles, and most importantly, swearing and possibly mild sexual content. You know, all the fun stuff, not for children. Listen at your own discretion.
A general trigger warning for this show: we tend to talk about a lot of things that involve the human body, blood, and death, and possibly sex occasionally. So, fair warning. We do talk about things that are occasionally unsavory, so if you do not want to listen to that, be forewarned.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah? Alright. Hello, welcome to Not for Educational Purposes. I am Kai.
I'm Nova.
And I'm James.
Yay! We're decided to do a new thing today, so we are recording this podcast on January 28th, 2022, and we are going to look back at this day in history. Tell me a fact, Noah.
So today in history, in 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded just after liftoff.
Oh, God!
That's the fact I was excited about.
Nice.
You know, what was even worse about that in particular is it was the first teacher that went up in space, as far as I remember.
Aw, boo.
Yeah. Everyone died. It was a space shuttle that exploded as it was in liftoff.
Yep. On January 28th, 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded 72 seconds after launch from Cape Canaveral, killing all 7 crew members, including civilian teacher Kristen McAuliffe.
Yeah. It was I feel like I definitely was too excited over this fact.
I have more facts.
Fact.
Yeah.
I have more facts from January 28th.
I do too.
Ooh.
I'm not sure. Are you on HistoryNet?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
then we might have different facts.
Ooh.
What are your facts?
In 1547, Henry VIII died, and 9-year-old Edward VI became King of England.
Nice. Oh, Henry VIII was the worst.
He was a dick.
Talk about a fucking headache.
I have one.
Huh?
In 1792, rebellious slaves in Santo Domingo launched an attack on the city of Cap.
Excellent.
I
We
hope
love
they
that.
freed themselves. I hope they went, nah, I'm gonna kill all of them.
Ah! Yeah, I'm into that. I like it.
Yeah. Oh man, okay. Did they usually have like children kings? Because that feels like a really bad idea. Like if I was a child and was a king, that would have been a bad kingdom.
So like, here's the thing. When a child, like if the child is too young to properly rule, then there will be a regent that rules in their place until the child is of age. So like, usually until they were about maybe 15,
That's still too young.
I know, but that was the quote unquote age of maturity at the time. I know, it's gross. It's real gross. I don't like it at all. But
I have a fact to add on to that.
Oh.
If the age of 15, so James knows this one too. Your brain actually quits developing, like it's done developing at 25.
yeah.
So you aren't yourself until you are 25.
Yep.
Kids were running things at 15. I was still making dumb decisions. I'm still making dumb decisions currently. They should not have 15-year-olds running anything.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I'd prefer a 15-year-old over a 75-year-old.
Yup.
Well, yeah.
100%.
Because I think it's at 60, your cognitive reasoning skills, like that part of your brain starts to deteriorate.
Yeah. I would much rather someone who's going to possibly improve than someone who is going to get worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still don't want a 15-year-old.
No, I don't either.
Oh,
But-
man.
Okay, so it's like 10 years before your brain is fully developed, 15 years after your brain starts dying. Which one would you rather?
Yeah.
You know, like the best of,
Yeah.
they're like worst of two evils or whatever. At least of two evils.
Yeah.
And plus, like, they had, like, a whole, like, setup full of people that, like, were loving and supportive. Well, not really, but, like, it depends on which family you're talking about in the royalty. But, like, they
Yeah.
had around, so they had a support system. Like that king that was 15 years old is going to be able to listen and talk to his like family members in court.
I feel like all of it was really based on power, though. And,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
the way they interacted with it.
Well,
Like, they were like, how
that's
can I get in more power?
like, loving and compassionate, depending on the families we're talking.
Like, if they put the regent person in charge, I'm surprised he didn't find a way to, like, kill the fucking king.
Well, I mean, that depends on who the regent is, right? Like in, was it Queen Hatshepsut of Egypt, who became a pharaoh because she was mad at everybody thinking she was a queen, was the regent for her son because the king died and the son was like one.
Oh, no.
Literally can't make any decisions at all. So she was named regent, and her period of rule until the king came of age at like 16 was one of the most peaceful times in ancient Egyptian history. And then he straight up was like, nah, I don't like the fact that you're regent, and like killed her when he was 20.
Didn't, like, they try to wipe her from history?
Oh, they absolutely did. Yeah.
Oh, man.
He got real salty that his mom was ruling in his place, even though he wasn't allowed to rule.
She was better at it than he would be.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'd be like, freaking... That's one of the times where you go, like, I brought you into this world and I could take you out. Like, no.
At the very least, she was a loving mother, though, so that's props to her. But like,
I bet somebody got in his head. Like, if she was a loving
Yeah,
absolutely.
Somebody probably got in his head. He was like, you're the one that needs to be ruling. And he was like, yeah! And then killed her. Because
children are malleable like that.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That's why it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Specifically because how valuable they are.
Yeah.
Were there any other, like, pharaohs that were AFAB people? Do we know?
I think most of them were cis men.
I think I don't remember. I think
she
wore like a beard or something. Or
she
like
did.
Had a
so in
Or
order
beard.
to gain the respect of the people who thought that having a queen was weird, she had people draw her as a man, and when she was doing like political work, she would put on a beard. And effectively everybody knew that she was not a man, but in order for the political propaganda,
she said, I'm a drag king.
I'm a drag king. Exactly.
I'm also your real king, so shut the fuck up and listen.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh man. That's so wild though, because if she ran, like, if everything was so much better when she was in charge, like, you would have thought they'd been like, huh?
No.
Maybe we should have just stuck with this one.
Because cis men say so.
Well, I don't.
Cis men say so. We must do.
No. No.
Cis men say so. He high ruler. We
Yeah.
we local.
No.
She was the fifth pharaoh of the 18th dynasty of Egypt.
Okay.
She was the second historically confirmed female pharaoh. There you go.
Who's the first?
After, oh god, I'm gonna butcher this. Sobeneferu? I'm so white. I am so white. She was a pharaoh of ancient Egypt and the last ruler of the 12th dynasty of the Middle Kingdom. She ascended to the throne following the death of a person who I'm not going to name, who was possibly her brother and husband, which is kind of gross, but their relationship is unproven. Instead, she asserted legitimacy through her father. Her reign lasted 3 years, 10 months, and 24 days, occurring according to the Turin King list. Interesting. I like that.
What was it like during her reign? Did she do a good job?
The Middle Kingdom was in decline by the time of her ascension. There's not a lot of information regarding the reign of the person just before her.
Okay.
So Middle Kingdom was in decline by the time of her ascension. The peak of the Middle Kingdom is attributed to that person and someone else. I'm not going to pronounce any of these names because I'm going to be real bad at them. The first one formed the basis for the legendary character Sesostris. Oh gosh. There's so many names that I can't pronounce. Someone built a pyramid
Okay.
and reigned for 39 years.
Was that a dude or a lady?
That was a dude.
Okay.
There's another dude who presided over a peaceful Egypt that consisted of monumental constructions, mining expeditions. His reign lasted 45 years. Good lord. And he built 2 pyramids. So this is the kingdom that she's coming into. She only reigned for 4 years. But as with her predecessor, there are a few surviving records. So we don't actually know.
Do I feel like they take out all of the like peaceful time records? They're just like, nah, we're not keeping these. Let's remember all.
It's possible. You know, like if you don't need them, if nothing's happening, then
Well, you can be like, look at these peaceful times and how everything went well in comparison to these terrible times when nothing went well. Why don't instead we all get along and have things go well?
I remember his name. He was a white man. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He was talking to the Australian governor or whatever, and he was like, so how did it work out for you? Like being really facetious on like playing around like satirically about like guns being good, you know? So, like, how did it work out for you with like, you took all the guns away? That must have been awful. And it was like, no, people got murdered less. What do you mean? He was just like,
There was
no,
less
that's
murders.
ridiculous. I can't remember the exact conversation, but like there was this whole little bit about it. And it was essentially what that
He was
is.
like, well, you still have murders. And he was like, yeah, but our gun murders dropped exponentially. Like you're not going to stop. If someone wants to murder someone, they're going to murder someone. But at least you're making them work for it.
Exactly.
Like, you got to put time and effort into that shit. It can't be too easy.
There was I saw a TikTok going around of a teacher in the States being really concerned that a lot of countries don't have lockdown drills, and our responses to that was, we have gun law.
Yep.
Like,
Hold on, have like lockdown drills?
no, because
No one gets shot there.
it's not that no one gets shot. It's just that the access to guns that would be that, like, you know, are used in shootings are really hard to get without a license.
They're super easy to get here without a license. Like,
Yeah, you don't need a license to own a gun in the States.
You literally just have to be white or buy it from somebody who's like on the street.
So you need a license to own a gun in Canada.
My high school like went into a lockdown once a year. Not because it was a drill, but because someone came outside with a gun.
Yeah, so
My
school, one of my high schools did a lockdown procedure once a year. Like it was like, because we also do earthquake drills because we were in an earthquake zone.
And fire drills.
Yes, and fire drills because fire
I freaking
gets
love
everywhere.
fire drills. Because like they interrupt anything that you're doing and they're just like, you have to go outside. That's fair.
I didn't like fire drills because I liked school and the thing was really, really loud and it made me super uncomfortable.
Yeah, but once you got outside, you got to like go in a field and not be.
I could not imagine like being excited about going outside in a fire drill because I'm in the middle of writing like an essay or something in English class, and all of a sudden these whirring fucking noises are loud throughout the entire school. I'm disoriented. I can't finish my fucking essay, and the teacher said it's due by the end of the fucking class. And I don't care that there's a fire drill. My essay needs to get done. I'm upset.
And you have to leave all your stuff in the room.
Exactly.
Gotta leave all my stuff like in the classroom. I do understand like if you didn't like school, the fire drill was like the best thing ever because you got to go outside and sit in the grass and like wait for teachers and be like chill out. But you know, as someone who was probably working on something, now I have to sit in the wet grass for 30 minutes and like kick at it a little bit because you weren't always in a class with your friends and you weren't allowed to talk to your friends because you had to sit in a line and like someone had to count heads. Anyway,
I was uncomfy. Did not like fire drills or tornado drills. Didn't like any of the drills. How about you just let me do what I wanted to do and go home?
Oh yeah, I guess you guys would have had, wherever you live, had tornado drills. We don't have to do that here.
Yeah, we used to. You take textbooks and you put them over your head. And you go in the hallway.
Textbooks?
No, it's textbooks for something else. No, yeah, because you would like protect your back. Yeah, I was right. You grab a textbook and you like you sit in like a boulder formation with your head against a wall and the book like over your neck. And if you didn't have a book, you had to put your hands over the back of your neck.
Yeah, see, that's what we would do for earthquake drills, except you don't go into a wall. You basically like hide under your desk with your.
You have to go into the hallway because then there's no windows in the hallway.
Yeah. That's what the desk was for. So like if the glass shattered, which it would in a really bad earthquake, then the idea is that being underneath a surface is going to A, protect you from that, and B, protect you from possible falling beams from the ceiling.
Yeah. Well, I think the difference between an earthquake and then a tornado is the winds that come. With a tornado is like it doesn't care what you're under. It's gonna just come straight at you.
It's gonna
like
take that and you.
Yeah. Earthquake works with gravity versus a tornado, which works against it.
Yes. Yes, indeed. All right. Do we have what's a thing? Give me some stuff.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Let me give you a fact. Do we want a brain fact or a bizarre historical fact?
Well, we're kind of on history, so let's keep going with that.
All right. In 1952, Albert Einstein declined an offer to become the second president of the State of Israel.
Fuck that.
Wasn't Albert Einstein autistic?
He was a fucking genius, yeah.
Yeah, it's widely presumed that he was autistic.
It would make no sense for him not to be.
Yeah.
I
love that he always looks insane in all of his pictures, but like he's having the best time.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm here to have a good time. Well, no, because he's got that picture with his tongue all sticking out, and he's like,
Oh,
yeah.
Albert Einstein, who was Jewish but not an Israeli citizen, was offered the presidency in 1952 but turned it down, stating, "I am deeply moved by the offer from our state of Israel and at once saddened and ashamed that I cannot accept it. All my life I have dealt with objective matters, hence I lack both the natural aptitude and the experience to deal properly with people and to exercise official functions."
Yep. Super awesome.
Yep.
100%.
They said, "You want power?" And he said, "No, thank you. That's not for me.
I would just like to work on my physics, thank you."
It's like, can we just science? That'd be great.
Just like to keep sciencing.
Yeah, I'm for that.
Yeah.
That continues to be like Einstein was a good person.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
At the very least, he wasn't a bad person.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, whether or not he was good, we would have to talk to people who knew him at the time. But at the very least, he's not a bad person.
He's
Yeah.
a 6'6" so there's still, room for leeway.
Yeah. But like, you know.
Yeah.
Intelligent, amazing, fucking like creative, big brain person that deserves all the respect.
Yeah.
Yes. He made a lot of breakthroughs in science.
Do we want a silly fact?
Yeah, I love silly facts.
In 1807, rabbits attacked Napoleon.
I definitely, yep.
I almost said Neapolitan.
I thought you were going to say Neapolitan because that's what the word came in my brain.
That's what I read. My dyslexic ass was like, that could be three things. And I was going to say it with such confidence, too.
Oh my gosh.
Bunnies?
Yes, rabbits.
Rabbits.
Is there a difference between rabbits and bunnies?
There's a
No.
difference between rabbits and hares.
Yeah. Bunnies are, I believe, just a different word for rabbit.
I feel like I thought bunnies were like the baby version of rabbits. What is a baby rabbit then?
It's just a baby rabbit.
No, there's a name for a baby rabbit.
There's
Like
a
how
name for it.
like how kittens are called kittens. They're also called kittens.
Oh.
Interesting.
Newborn rabbits called kittens or kits.
Oh. Kits.
History tells us that Napoleon's most upsetting defeat came at Waterloo, or it may have occurred 8 years earlier after the French emperor was attacked by a relentless horde of rabbits.
Oh my god.
Why was he attacked by a relentless horde of rabbits?
Or getting there.
Some Monty Python shit.
There are a couple versions of this story. Most agree it happened in July 1807 after Napoleon signed the Treaty of Tilsit, which ended the war between the French Empire and Imperial Russia. Looking to celebrate, the emperor proposed a rabbit hunt, asking Chief of Staff Alexandre Berthier to make it happen. Berthier arranged an outdoor luncheon, invited some of the military's biggest brass, and collected a colony of rabbits. Some say Berthier took in hundreds of bunnies, while other claims he collected as many as 3,000. Regardless, there were a lot of rabbits, and Berthier's men caged them all along the fringes of a grassy field. When Napoleon started to prowl, accompanied by beaters and gun bearers, the rabbits were released from their cages. The hunt was on. But something strange happened. The rabbits didn't scurry in fright. Instead, they bounded towards Napoleon and his men. Hundreds of fuzzy bunnies gunned it for the world's most powerful man. Napoleon's party had a good laugh at first, but as the onslaught continued, their concern grew. The sea of longers was storming Napoleon quicker than revolutionaries had stormed the Bastille. The rabbits allegedly swarmed the emperor's legs and started climbing up his jacket. Napoleon started shooing them with his riding crop as his men grabbed sticks and tried chasing them. The coachmen cracked their bullwhips to scare the siege, but it kept coming. According to historian David Chandler, with a finer understanding of Napoleonic strategy than most of his generals, the rabbit horde divided into two wings and poured around the flanks of the party and headed for the imperial coach.
These bunnies were ready.
They said, fuck you, I'm leaving.
They said, this is my fucking world. Like, oh my god. So thousands of bunnies stormed a whole bunch of people. So so what you're saying is like, we're supposed to be let out into a field so people could go after them and shoot them, right?
Yeah. There's an explanation here.
The bunnies was like, fuck you.
It wasn't malicious. It says, it was Berthier's fault. Rather than trapping wild hares, his men had bought tame rabbits from local farmers. As a result, the rabbits didn't see Napoleon as a fearsome hunter. They saw him as a waiter, bringing out the day's food. To them, the emperor was effectively a giant head of lettuce. So, like, the bunnies thought that Napoleon was the person bringing them the food for the day. So they were like, oh my god.
Oh man, that's the first time an emperor turned into a servant. Did they bite him?
Probably not.
Oh.
But, like, if you were swarmed by 300 rabbits, I'm sure you'd feel a little uncomfortable. Especially if they kept following you.
God, that would be awful. I'm sure that was really funny to watch, though, if you were like standing off in the sidelines just like
they
that.
have really sharp nails.
And teeth.
Yeah.
Like, that would be uncomfy. Even if they were trying to just scratch up your legs and stuff, like 100,
Mhm.
of them would be terrifying.
Yeah.
You kidding?
Yeah. Because they're fast.
They are fast.
Oh, man.
They don't give a fuck.
I feel like, okay, so I have a memory of this story, and I need to know if it's true. I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast before, but
We'll find out.
it's a history thing. It's like a pirate queen person who was in love with someone else who she was sent to like a convent, and the person went to go save the person from the convent. I don't remember, because she was like sleeping with some noble, because it was a lesbian story. Like, ha ha ha.
It's not Anne Bonny or Mary Read, is it?
I don't know. It was back in the olden times.
Yes.
Tipping the Velvet is the movie that I was thinking of. So there's Tipping the Velvet. There's another lesbian movie that kind of sounds like the one that you said.
Yeah, but this like is history.
Oh, then,
Like it happened.
Then I definitely have not watched that.
No, it is something I've looked up. It's not like a movie. No.
Oh,
Is it real?
I don't know.
Know that the most famous, one of the like not most famous, most successful pirates was a pirate queen. I think she's in Asia.
She was
in
from
Asia.
China,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
She commanded 80,000 people.
Uh-huh.
God.
Like to the point where the government could not take her down. They had to make a treaty with her to be like, we won't fuck with you if you won't fuck with us.
She was really good by herself. And then she met this dude who was also really good by himself. And they got married and combined their crews together. And then he got taken by the government to command troops on land, because they were like, oh my god, if you can command all these people at sea, like, we want you for our army.
Oh man.
And I'm pretty sure after that, she still like plundered the entire ocean. And eventually, the only way that they got her to stop was to give all of her crew like government positions.
Yeah, they all like retired and were wealthy and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she was a problem, but also like
She was a badass.
yeah.
So there was nothing really came up for the search of female pirates sent to a convent.
No, the pirate didn't get sent to a convent.
Okay.
So it was a pirate,
Uh-huh.
and she was in love with this noble lady, like a daughter of someone. And the daughter got sent to a convent, and then the pirate lady broke into the convent.
Gotcha.
And saved her. I think they eventually split, but I can't remember much of that. This is a memory I'm pulling from like years ago.
Oh, wait. Are we sure it's a pirate? Are we
No,
sure
I'm not
it's
sure
not
it's
an
a pirate.
opera singing sword fighter from 17th century France?
Yes, it is. That is 100% who it is. Yeah.
La Maupin. Julie d'Aubigny. That's her name. Julie d'Aubigny. She was the only child to a secretary, the King Louis the, oh my gosh, 14th, master of horse, Count d'Armagnac, one of France's great nobles. She was a sword fighter, ran in the family blood. Notorious for embarking on romantic escapades, she soon ran away to Marseille with her fencing instructor, Seren. She was pardoned by the King of France twice.
What?
For doing what?
She loved nothing better than to duel, and she killed, or at least wounded, more than 10 men in doing so. There were anti-dueling laws in France.
Oh.
But she managed to win royal pardon on the grounds that the law at the time governed only men.
It's their fault.
The laws didn't say anything about women, as the nation assumed women couldn't possibly know how to fight.
You would think after the first time he'd have been like, we gotta make some laws.
D'Aubigny's most notorious run-in with the law sounds so absurd that you could easily mistake it for a legend, but there's a shocking truth to the seemingly unbelievable tale. After seducing a local merchant's daughter, who was then sent to a convent to keep the pair apart, she forged an incredible plan. So it was the local merchant's daughter who was sent to a convent, and it was the noble who broke her out of prison.
Okay.
I think.
This is from years ago.
Yes. It just so happened that a nun had passed away, so d'Aubigny stole the dead body and placed it in her lover's room before setting the whole convent on fire. This provided the necessary chaos to elope, though she was later charged with kidnapping, body snatching, and arson, and was sentenced to death by fire.
Oh no.
She stole a dead body of a nun and put it in the bed of her lover.
Why?
And so that she could take the lover and they could elope. So that
weird scale.
because she set the convent on fire. You can't have DNA testing. You can't tell who the fuck was in that bed. Look, no one died though from that situation.
Well, it doesn't say if anyone died.
No one important was hurt.
It just says that she set the convent on fire. So it's possible that everybody escaped. But the dead lady was already dead.
Yeah.
You could have just.
But she was not only talented in sword fighting, but she was also an opera singer. She moved to Paris and used these opera skills to worm her way out of her death sentence.
Oh.
Did she not die?
I don't think so.
This kid hard bitch. Like, what the fuck?
She said, "Lay ha ha, catch me if you can.
Oh gosh.
Oh my god.
Catch me outside." Oops, I set it on fire.
Oh.
Chaotic neutral. What the absolute
Yeah.
fuck? She
One
just kidnapped her fucking like love interest. She did not like move a dead person and set a place on fire.
Yeah.
She's extra.
She is chaotic neutral in form.
She's from France.
One critic credited her with having the most beautiful voice in the world, and so naturally, the king agreed that her talent was worth saving.
God.
He said, oh man.
She said, "I'll serenade you every night before bed, King."
Right before I set your palace on fire.
Exactly. What the fuck?
She didn't stay out of trouble for long, though. Her stage name was La Maupin. She may have been pardoned twice, but she didn't stay out of trouble for long. She threatened to shoot the Duchess of Luxembourg.
found herself in court for attacking her landlord and humiliated the popular Countess Marino, to whom she was a maid by adorning the back of her hair with radishes before a grand ball.
What?
It's true, chaotic, neutral.
She's crazy. I love her.
Okay, you know what she sounds like? Someone goes, huh, that'd be funny.
Yeah. She was like, fuck it, let's do it.
So sure.
She's like the epitome of the hold my beer. Like,
Yeah. She started YOLO.
This is yesterday all the time.
yeah. She did die in a convent in 1707 at the age of 33.
How did she get put in a convent?
I don't know. Oh, I do know. I lied. She ended her days heartbroken for Madame la Marquise de Florensac, the most beautiful woman in France, who died of a fever in 1705 when Julie was 31. So she died heartbroken.
Oh,
because of a woman.
Oh, she was definitely gay. Like, this whole
she
thing
was
started gay.
She was super bi. She slept with everybody.
Oh. She was fucking sexual.
Yeah.
She was a bard.
Yes. She was an actual bard. Her
The only thing the story is missing is a dragon.
Her instrument was her voice, and her weapon of choice was a sword.
Yep.
Yeah.
God damn. They're really out here fucking.
She rolled a lot of nat 20s.
She did. I feel like her role would have been like a bunch of nat 20s, but also a lot of critical fails. Like,
she's like, I get one or the other.
Yeah, it's like the Road to El Dorado, which is basically just a series of nat 20s and critical fails the entire time.
Yeah. And a god that definitely was pretending to be a king.
Oh, 100%. He was not human.
No. He is the one. So I believe that he is the one that made the king guy,
Yeah.
What is his name?
I forget.
I don't remember. But he is definitely the one. Like, there was the magic guy, but he just only did a little bit of magic.
Yeah.
And the king definitely made the like volcano erupt and disappear. Like, I fully believe that he was just like, not yet. Don't do that yet. Stop.
Yeah.
And then like everyone like was like, oh, them. And he was like, yeah, them. Don't look at me. Don't look at the wizard behind the curtain.
The other theory is that the armadillo is in fact the god.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
I like to believe that could be because
we could be super neutral about this and say it was both.
Yeah.
Could be both.
What the fuck is his name?
Well,
Chief
knew.
Tannabach.
Yeah.
Chief Tannabach.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense too. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
He's one of my favorite characters.
He's
that could
great.
That could be my daddy issues, but you know. Anyone who's like a warm, welcoming father figure. Just like,
Oh, here's a fun fact. So the person who played Altivo, who's Cortez's horse, is a person, first of all. And he also voiced the bull that chases Miguel and Tulio at the beginning of the movie. So this man makes animal sounds.
hell yeah.
Oh man, does he play in Tangled?
No. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Who plays Maximus in Tangled?
Disney just has one guy. One. He's the horse guy. Does it got hooves? This guy. We use this guy.
It was not him. That guy was Maximus was voiced by someone else.
I think it is very funny that they use people. So has everyone seen Chicken Little?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah. I forget that movie was about aliens. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But there was a guy that voiced the fish.
Yes.
Did I pass out through this whole fucking movie?
What?
This movie was about aliens.
Yeah.
I thought this movie was about a talking chicken.
Chicken
No.
Little? Chicken Little's about aliens.
Hold on. Wait a second. Hold on one second.
Because they lose a...
No, wait. Stuart Little.
Oh, you're thinking about Stuart Little. That's a mouse.
That's a rat.
It's a mouse.
Yeah.
Rat thing.
There was all sorts of madness happening in my brain just then.
Is he a rat or is he a mouse?
I thought he was a
He's a
mouse.
He might be a mouse.
I was thinking Stuart Little. I don't think I have seen Chicken Little.
Fair enough.
That's fair.
Do you care about
there's a
spoilers?
Oh.
No, I do not.
Okay. There's a fish named Fish Out of Water, which I think is super cute.
Yeah.
So he's a fish that walks around.
And the only reason he walks around is because he wears a fishbowl on his head so that he can
was like a
breathe.
like those old divers suits.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Like an old diver's head, but the water's on the inside.
I think he starts off with a fishbowl and gets one of those later, but I'm not sure. Fish out of water.
All I know
Little.
is I saw like some sort of interview with someone who voiced him.
It is a diver's helmet. Well done.
Yeah. So there's an interview with the guy that voices him, and they show a clip of him doing the voices for that fish. And since it's just he's using like a giant water cooler and a hose.
Yeah, that's what
he's
he
just blowing bubbles.
Yeah, so he might have been a Foley sound person. Do you know what Foley sound is?
Blowing bubbles with inflection?
Sometimes, yes. So Foley sounds are all of the sounds that you hear in the background of a movie. So like a car passing by, or a drop in a puddle, or someone walking. The likelihood of that being the actual person in the shot making those sounds as they walk is very slim, because the microphone is meant to pick up voices, not the sound of everything around them. So someone in post-production who works with Foley sound has to recreate the sound of someone walking on gravel or concrete, but they have to do it with like arbitrary weird items.
Like coconuts.
Like coconuts. Exactly.
All I'm thinking about is fucking Monty Python, the whole beginning of that movie where they're just like, they're breaking the fourth wall so hard without anybody knowing that they're breaking the fourth wall. Yeah. It's like, no, I've gotten here or whatever, like, and he's like just been tapping these coconuts, and he's like, no, you've got coconuts. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's definitely a horse.
But that's so Foley sounds. So that's the idea. So what he was doing was probably closer to Foley sounds than. I mean, he was voice acting, because obviously you need to be able to do it in a certain way.
Yeah,
but
you have to have like surprise. That's what I say is bubbles with inflection, because it's like
bubbles with inflection. Indeed. His name is Dan Molina.
Dan Molina.
What?
Voiced fish out of water for Chicken Little.
Did he die?
No.
Oh, the way you said it made it sound like he had died.
Oh, my apologies. That was a slip of the tongue.
Oh. Man, I feel like, so my memories work like I dreamed them. So I can never tell if it was, because I dream very vividly, so I can never tell if like my memory was a dream or reality.
Speaking of dreams, I had a dream about both of you 2 days ago.
What?
So,
very important 2 days ago. What do you mean? What was the dream?
Y'all, so you know how that I'm not going to mention the snap that you sent me, but y'all sent me the snap about the thing that happened next door.
Yeah.
And at the end of that, someone mentioned that one of your rooms may or may not be haunted.
Yeah.
So I had a dream that night about staying at your house.
Oh shit.
And sleeping in that room. But like, it wasn't haunted in the way that you would think it was haunted. It was like one of those, like, you walk in and then every time you blink, like, everything in the room changes. So like the bedspread was changed. The wall color was changed. The floor changed. And like in my brain, I was like, oh, this is the ghost giving me an illusion. I would like you to stop.
Oh shit.
I would like this to stop. And like I was fully fine with going to sleep in this room. And there was like occasionally I'd, close my eyes and open them, and there'd be like words on the blinds, because apparently you add blinds in there for some reason. Keep in mind, I've never seen this room before. Like, I have no idea what this room looks like at your house.
It's an old mill, so
it looks like a factory, yeah.
Yeah, but like in Dreamscape, that doesn't translate to Dreamscape.
No, it does
Nothing
not.
ever translates to Dreamscape.
No.
Well,
but like,
beg to differ.
Yeah, well, yes, but like I could draw you the layout of the room, but like anyway. Every time, like, when I blink, like, sometimes words would appear on the blinds, and, like, maybe they were in blood or paint, but I was kind of just like, dude, I want to sleep. Like, can you chill until I wake up in the morning? Like,
I'd be like, not right now.
no.
No, it's not time for this. You can do this later.
Yeah.
Like imagine a ghost just be like, damn it.
And I distinctly remember you had me over as a guest, and that was the guest room that I was sleeping in. And neither of you wanted to sleep in either that room or the other one. So you were like in the living room on couches. And I was like, why? Like, sure. But
Okay.
like, why as the guest am I taking the bed? Like, that's weird for me.
I mean, if there's only one bed, that makes sense.
But
Bed.
it was very strange.
That sounds like a very
It is a wild dream.
Anyway.
Anyway, do we want another fact?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. The most stolen work of artwork in history is the Ghent Altarpiece. I don't know what that is.
How do you spell that?
Ghent.
Ghent altar.
Altar piece. Oh man, the theft of the Mona Lisa in 1911 made Leonardo da Vinci's painting famous.
Oh, that's funny how that happens.
someone stole it, and they're like, "Oh, if it's good enough to be stolen, now it's good enough to be famous."
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. So I had a dream one time that looked exactly like this place that I saw in real life. But it wasn't until, okay, so like I had the dream first. I had the dream like a year before I went to this place. And I was like, it was a terrifying nightmare. And it's the one that I still remember to this day. Like there were zombies. It was like, it was this school looking area where there was like this big like staircase that headed upstairs. I jumped out the window, headed towards the end of the street. And I got to this like bar in the middle of the street, which is like strange. It was kind of like you won a relay race or something. But it was like a flag, but it was like a metal bar. And I hopped over and woke up. Yeah, so it was like super weird, but the fall was enough to kill me, but it didn't. Like I hopped back up and I ran out anyways. Oh, this big building that I was in, right? I had this terrible nightmare and I remembered it for a very long time. I went to fucking North Carolina, this stupid beach city fucking, was it Wilmington? I think it's Wilmington. Yeah, I went to Wilmington, North Carolina, and there's this college like building like inside the college in that town that looked exactly like the place in my dream. And when I walked in there, I was like, absolutely not.
Zombies will
Walked
happen.
right the fuck out. It was so scary.
Oh.
Man. Like I've never had that happen outside of that one time, but like dreams can come into reality and it can scare the pants off of you.
Once was enough.
Once was enough. That was too much. That was, man.
One of the world's greatest masterpieces and surely the most stolen piece of art of all time. Hubert and Jan van, I don't know how to pronounce that. Ick? It's E-Y-C-K. Eck. Sure. X, Adoration of the Mystic Lamb, also known as the Ghent Altarpiece, has a new home. But that's not what I wanted to know. I wanted to know how many times it got stolen. Tell me how many times. It has been stolen 12 times.
A dozen. A baker's
Oh, man.
A true dozen, I believe.
A true dozen.
A true dozen. I thought you said 2 dozen, and I was like,
No.
that is.
The Ghent Altarpiece, which has been stolen 12 times, is now protected in a $35 million bulletproof display.
Does the display cost more than the painting itself?
That's a good question. How much does the Ghent Altarpiece cost? Okay, well, the restoration of the Ghent Altarpiece was $2.2 million. 2.2 million euros, sorry. Which is $2.4 million. So, if that's how much the restoration cost,
Oh my god.
I don't think we know how much it costs.
Has it ever been priced?
Well,
What does this thing look like?
Does not say how much it was.
This looks like a Jesus thing.
it is a Jesus thing.
What the fuck?
It's definitely a Catholic thing.
Bullshit.
At the bottom of it,
A
how
sacrificial animal.
it's spelled or how it's written at the bottom of this frame, Friel made my dyslexia read Van fuck you.
Because that's not what it said, is it?
No.
Oh no.
But
So-
couldn't you, like, if you just looked at it?
It does definitely look like Van fuck you.
Yeah.
It definitely does. Van E. Ick?
Van Eyck. Yeah.
The artist, yeah.
So the panels are organized in 2 vertical registers, each with double sets of foldable wings containing an inner and outer panel paintings. The upper register of the inner panels represents the heavily redemption and include the central classical arrangement of God, identified either as the Christ the King or God the Father, flanked by the Virgin Mary and John the Baptist. On the other side on each side are the figures Adam and Eve.
Why did it take 2 million euros
To restore it?
fix this painting?
Because
I can go to Michael's
no.
and make something for like $12.
Here's the thing. I follow a YouTube channel called Baumgartner Art Restoration, and I highly recommend it because it is very, very cool. But you get to see all of the work that goes into art restoration, and once you see all of the work that goes into art restoration, a $2.4 million art restoration for something like this, which is huge because it says it's 5.2 by 3.75 meters, which means nothing to you, but there are 3 feet in a meter.
Oh, fuck.
So this thing is massive.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which means that
Yeah, you need more than $12 from Michael's.
you need more than $12 from Michael's, absolutely. But I do recommend that YouTube channel because it's very cool, and he explains to you like the entire process of restoring a painting and all of that shit. Anyways, I cannot find a price for this thing.
Maybe it's priceless.
Maybe, and by
Has
that
it ever
we
been
mean
sold?
has it ever been sold? I believe so. Yes, the person who owns it currently is the owner of the painting.
Can you figure out how much they bought it for?
I have
No.
no.
I was like, if it was sold, there's got to be a record. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
That'd be sold privately.
Yeah. Or it's in a museum and it wasn't sold. I have no idea. But I feel like this $35 million bulletproof glass is probably its permanent home.
Yeah. Just like, you stay here forever.
Yeah.
Oh man, I have some opinions about art. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. in general.
Well,
Opinions about how they're.
I
Regular.
prefer this to a yellow painting with a black line.
That's true. Work was put into this. A lot of effort was put
A lot
into
of
that.
effort was put in.
I'm okay with that. I definitely think it deserves more respect, even if it is a Jesus painting, than a mustard yellow canvas with a
Yeah.
black line. Like
At the very least, despite the fact that it's a Jesus painting, there was clearly a lot of art and design and like thought put into this.
yeah,
Regardless of the subject matter.
yeah. Someone put their life into that.
Yeah.
Mhm. Do we want another fact?
Yeah, let's do it.
Luis Antoni de Baron Artos. I thought it said artichoke. I don't know. I butchered that. It's French. Duke of another name I'm gonna butcher that's probably French. Was king of France for less than 20 minutes.
Can you spell
Let me see.
the place?
Duke of Angouleme.
Angeline.
Angeline. Yeah.
Angeline.
Antoine de Bourbon. À trois.
Duke of Angeline. King for 20 minutes.
His whole last 20 minutes.
Louis Antoine of France, Duke of Angoulême, was the elder son of Charles X of France and the last Dauphin of France from 1824 to 1830. He was technically king of France and Navarre for less than 20 minutes before he himself abdicated due to his father's abdication during the July Revolution in 1830.
Wow.
So he gave up the throne after 20 minutes.
He said, nah, this is not my thing. I'm done.
Oh, gosh.
And people start asking too many questions.
Yeah.
Everyone went, huh? And he said, no.
He was
Oh,
born
that's-
at Versailles, because of course he was.
Hey, all I know about Versailles is a movie, and I don't know why. Part of me has a negative reaction whenever I hear that name.
Might be a
Versailles?
memory you can't unlock.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
Versailles is also a town, I think. Anyways, he married his first cousin,
No.
the eldest child of Louis VI and Marie Antoinette, and the only
Gross.
member of the immediate royal family to survive the French Revolution.
Oh my god.
They had no children.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh man, he's lucky then.
yeah,
This is what happens when you give up power. You're just like, no, I'm with you guys.
yeah.
No thanks.
There was a person that I was listening to about the murder mysteries. So my parents gave me, let me start off with this. My parents gave me a terrible dead name. Like, don't go by that name anymore. But they did not look into history when they gave me the name, because there are a lot of people with this name that are either married to murderers, dated murderers, or murderers themselves.
Oh, gross.
And so there was this, she like a duchess or something, or she's not a queen. She was in the royal family, and she was like the queen of blood or something like that, the blood
Oof.
queen. And she would like take like servants and like kill them, like had a torture chamber built when she was
Good
married
God.
to this person. She married a person, he was like on board, I guess, and was like, let's build you a torture chamber for when I'm gone. And then she would take these young women, like at first it was like commoners and servants and stuff, and she would kill them and then drain them of blood and then like drink their blood.
Yeah, didn't she
Ew.
like a moisturizer?
No.
Or was that someone
This
else?
was a different person. That was a different person, I
Oh.
think. But it, like, she had a disease when she was younger, and they think like she had gotten it from, like, she started doing this because like when she was younger, like you would drink the blood or things of healthy people to like heal yourself from whatever the problem was going on with her.
Ah.
Yeah, and then she like kept doing this, and she got bored with the commoner people, so she started killing, like luring nobles or like upper class
Gosh.
people to her castle, because she got a castle in this marriage. Like they got a castle, and this is when she got the torture chamber, and then like eventually she started killing like high up noble people.
Oh boy.
And that's when she got caught, because they were like, we should probably, because this wasn't done in secret.
No.
She wasn't sneaky about it.
What?
She was just taking people and torturing and killing them. And then once she started killing like high nobles and stuff, then they were like, we need to stop you.
What the fuck?
And you know what they did? They whole ass. They killed everyone that she was like helped her conspire and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They locked her in a tower in her own castle. They did not kill this bitch. They were like, everyone else that was involved can die. You get to be locked in your castle.
Oh my gosh.
Did they lock her you said in the tower, so they locked her technically in an area where she should not have been able to get out, right? Unless
Yeah, they like
locked out
walled
of
it
the-
off. But you can't say that like whatever guard was outside, she didn't go like, can I hide for a little bit? And he would not have like let her out. Like, you can't say that she was there the whole time.
Gosh. I feel like this is the inspiration for the queen in the live action Snow White movie.
Maybe.
Right?
Because she also like drained young people of blood in order to keep her young complexion. But that was magic.
Yeah, this was not magic. This was just a crazy person.
This was just someone being absolutely nuts.
Yeah. And like it said that her husband would like join her sometimes in like torture people
so
until
they were
he died.
both crazy.
Yeah, well he died first.
Oh.
I don't remember why.
Did she kill him?
I don't remember.
Probably. She was like, I'm kind of sharing these dead people. I'm going to make you one of them.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised.
To be fair.
Oh man.
Oh,
I mean, what are you supposed to do if like I can't imagine you being one of the people that helped, because like what would you do? You'd be like, well, if I don't help, I'm gonna end up being one of these people.
I would have yeeted her out a window.
Fuck. That's fair.
Punt.
The first time I saw her murder somebody, I probably would be taken aback and be like, oh, I need to keep my eye on this. And then the second time she did it, I'd have been like, all right, well, I need to make a plan to make this stop. So I gotta wait till she gets to the top of the tower. We gotta make a plan to have like tea time upstairs or something. And I gotta make sure that I'm not the one near the window. And I gotta yeet that bitch with my foot. Depending on how big that window is, how close it is to the floor is gonna make the whole situation difficult. Don't murder people. What the fuck?
Well, yeah.
I know I'm talking about murdering her, but she's a murderer.
It was
so
also like so the medium people, the like not nobles but not commoner people that she was taking, like they were sending young girls to her to like learn etiquette and shit. So this was
she
back
had
in
a whole
time.
operation.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
This was back in a time when like ladies were like delicate and
First off, that
And murderous.
and murderers.
I was gonna say like that was just a show.
If you don't
It's
know,
always been a show. Women have always been.
if you don't know what Aqua
top tier.
Tofana is, go look it up.
Aqua Tofana.
Aqua
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Aqua Tofana.
All right, we are just about done, my friends. Do we want a final fact?
Yeah, I can tell you about Aqua Tofana.
Do it.
Aqua Tofana was used way back when women were married off to abusive husbands and couldn't get out of it. And so there was this lady who started a thing where she would mix poison together in what looked like a makeup bottle, but you wouldn't like use it for makeup. Instead, you would put it in your abusive husband's food and he would slowly die. And it would look like natural causes because he would just get sick.
Because they didn't have like DNA stuff back then. But yeah.
Yeah.
Aqua Tofana.
Aqua Tofana.
I feel like there was a puppet history about that.
Probably. I learned all of these from my current favorite YouTuber,
Yeah. Was it Bailey SARS?
Bailey Sarian.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
She's
Yeah. But this person like had a whole ass operation and it went on for a while.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on Puppet History, which is also a great show.
Everyone watch things about murderers. It's a lot of fun.
It's fun. It's a grand old time.
Yeah.
Don't become one.
Yeah, no, don't
become
become
one. Just listen to it
Yeah, just keep an ear out.
for fun.
That way you know what to look for.
Yeah.
Like why most cis white women are obsessed with true crime.
Because they're a part of it.
Whee!
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for joining us, everyone. This is not for educational purposes. Who would like to do the ending, with the email?
Oh, if you have a fun fact, you can send it to friendlyneighborhoodchangeling@gmail.com. I will hopefully check it and remember to. Sometimes I won't, but it'll eventually be on here. If you send it in. Any random fact or just a thing you think is cool, and then we'll Google it to see if it's true.
Yeah.
Other than that, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, everybody. Have a fabulous morning, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on when the heck you ever listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good night. And
Good night, everyone.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Good
There
night.
you go. Beautiful.
There we go. Perfect.